What's going on, guys? I'm Chris from ClearcutFitness. I'm going to show you a couple of my favorite regressions and alternatives to doing a regular Nordic hamstring curl. So for those of you that don't know what a regular Nordic hamstring curl is, it's an eccentrically focused exercise for the hamstrings. So you anchor your feet under here, or you can get a partner to help hold your legs down. And the whole focus is the hamstrings, okay? So we don't want to strain your lower back. We still want to keep the core tight, the glutes engaged, and you're going to slowly fall forward and get those hamstrings firing so that you help yourself come back up. Now, for those of you that don't know what a Nordic hamstring curl is, it's an eccentrically loaded hamstring exercise that's been shown to really help improve the strength of your hamstrings, and especially important in the strength and conditioning world if you do any sort of sport that involves sprinting, running, starting, stopping, that type of stuff. What it does is prevent injury. A lot of soccer players and baseball players and other sports like that will get injuries as they are slowing down from a sprint, and that is all due to weak hamstrings. A lot of research shows that implementing Nordic hamstring curls eccentrically helps prevent injuries in sport. A regular eccentric Nordic hamstring curl requires you to have your feet anchored underneath something, or you can have a partner help you out by holding your ankles down. And what you're going to do is focus on your hamstrings contracting to help slow your body down as you get closer to the ground. What we don't want to do is hyperextend our lower back so much so that it ends up overworking. We want to focus on the hamstrings. So the way that we do that is by bracing the abs, squeezing the glutes, and then slowly leaning forward and pushing your legs up into this pad. That is what's really going to help recruit your hamstrings. So I can't do a full one. I can get about halfway. Now, a lot of people can't even get halfway, and that's totally fine. It's a hard exercise to do. A lot of it depends on your body weight and also the strength of your hamstrings. We don't always recommend trying to do a Nordic hamstring curl right away. If you're too weak, it actually may lead to an injury or making an older injury worse. So if you're doing hamstring rehab, or if you want to get your hamstrings stronger, we don't want you to start with a regular Nordic hamstring curl. One of my favorite options is using a Swiss ball or stability ball, whatever you want to call it. This is actually going to help support you and take some of the load off of the hamstring. Now, this is really, really important to get right because you can actually take all the stress off the hamstrings to the point where you're not even working them at all and just leaning forward. That looks dumb, and it is dumb because then we're not even working the muscle we're trying to work. You have to really focus, put a lot of energy into focusing on your hamstrings, contracting them. That's why I like to feel them first to make sure that they are contracting, and only use as much help as you need on the ball. So right now my hamstrings are contracted pretty hard, my abs are braced, and as you can see I can go deeper than I could before because I'm getting a little bit of help, but I'm still squeezing my hamstrings and coming back up. Now again, we don't want you leaning into your lower back too much. That can cause lower back stress, irritation. We don't want that. Keep the abs braced and focus on the hamstrings. The other way we like to do assisted Nordic hamstring curls is by using a band. A resistance band. So we wrap it around here. Even if you're doing these at home, you don't need a squat rack, you just need some sort of stable pole or something that you can wrap it around. Put your body through. And obviously the band helps you because the further down that you go, the more help and tension is on the band, and it helps you get back up. So here's an example of how the resistance band can help me get a further range of motion than I normally would be able to. guys, just know that there is absolutely no shame in doing a regression like this. For most people, their hamstrings are already too weak, and going right into a Nordic hamstring curl is probably going to be too much. So use an implement that can help at first, a band or a Swiss ball or even a foam roller, whatever you can think of. Or be creative, use whatever you can think of that can still allow you to contract your hamstrings but not make it impossible to do so that you're compensating with your lower back or anything like that. In fact, even if you can do Nordic hamstring curls, it's good to switch it up and do a lighter load for more tension, more reps, more volume. So even myself, I can do a couple reps of regular Nordic hamstring curls, but even once a month or so, I like to switch it up and get more reps in, get more time in with a little bit of help. It's always good to cycle through different loads and different volumes. The beauty of these exercises is that most people's hamstrings are weak anyway, so even a couple weeks or a month of doing a regression with a Swiss ball or something like that, you'll notice a huge improvement, and you'll actually be able to start loading more and using a lot less help from both of these things.